Hey everyone, I know that this staff schedule on an Excel spreadsheet might seem overwhelming, but I wanted to take a few minutes to show you that it is not too bad. You definitely are going to have to use some critical thinking skills and problem solving skills as you try out different things. It's kind of like playing Tetris as you work in all these different variables. So we have variables such as ratios, as how many kids to how many staff members we're supposed to have. We have variables such as how long staff can work and the fact that they have to take lunches and so forth. We've got variables such as floaters, which are part-time staff members that come and fill the spaces. So I just want to give you guys, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm going to do a little example to show you the thought process behind this. So you're actually going to see my thought process. So some things that I start to do may not be work out, so I'll have to go back and redo things. So along the side here, you see I have the operating hours of the child care center. It opens at 6:30. It closes at 6. Across the top, you've got a rainbow of each classroom has their own color. So we have a lead and assistant for each class. A lead and assistant, they have their own color, and then floaters 1 through 5 have their own color. To the side, we see ratios that we're supposed to keep. And in the evening, I gave you numbers from 6:30 to 7:30, how many kids you would have, and then from 7:30 to 8:30, how many kids you would have, because the first 2 hours and the last 2 hours, you typically have lower numbers, so you can combine classes that make sense. Typically, you can combine one infant toddler class, and you can combine one preschool class. So I did the same thing for the 4 and hour and this 5 o'clock hour, and then I did some reminders. This is not exhaustive, but some reminders of things that you need to do when you are planning. Now, according to the instructions, our infant teacher needs to leave at 5:30, so I'm gonna off the bat make her my opener. So I'm going to say my infant teacher is going to open at 6:30, and she is going to go, and she is going to actually go, and then she's going to take an early lunch. Since she's there early, she's going to take an 11:30 lunch. So I've highlighted this. I'm going to go right up here to the fill button, or oops. See, I'm going to go to my fill button, and I'm going to select red, and that is going to show all the time that she is there. From 11:30 to 12:30, she is not going to be working. So now I need to see what time she gets off. So she can only work 8 hours a day. So I've got 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. So she can work 4 more hours when she comes back at 12:30. So she's going to work 12:30 to 1, 1:30 to 2:30, 2:30 to 3:30, 3:30 to 4:30. And that is going to get her off by 5:30 to pick up her kids, since that's what one of your special considerations is. Okay? So now I need to staff the rest of the classroom. So one thing I'm going to have to look at is from 6:30 to 7, do I really need 2 teachers? Well, let's look over here. I've only got 2 infants from 6:30 to 7, so I don't need another teacher yet. So at 7:30, I've got 5 infants. So that means, let's see, it says birth to 16 months, I need 1 teacher to 4 kids, so 5 is going to put me over. So I'm going to need the other teacher to come in at 7:30. So that other teacher is going to come in 7:30 to 8:30, and then they are going to work through her lunch. Then they're going to take their lunch break, and they're going to work the other half. So this is going to be empty right here because we don't need it for ratios. But right here, you're going to notice I am going to need somebody to come in and fill this lunchtime. So we're going to just say floater 1 is going to be our midday floater. So I'm going to take my floater 1, and that is purple, and put my floater 1 in there so I have 2 teachers. All right. So I am going to click my line 11 so I can get my line right, and note that this teacher is going to be in for that amount of time. So right here, 11:30 to 12:30, that teacher is taken account for. Okay, same here, 12:30 to 1:30, we're going to use that same teacher. So that teacher is going to just stay for 2 hours in that classroom in the infants. All right, let's see, 4:30 to 5:30, we've got one teacher, but according to over here, we can just have one teacher because we have 4 kids and 2, so we are good for the rest of the day in the infants. Okay, so that gives you just a little rundown of what it's going to look like. You're going to do that for all of these classrooms, and as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classrooms, and I just did that in 5 minutes. Now, granted, I know what I'm doing, so it's going to take you a little longer than 5 minutes and 51 seconds, but this is just to show you that it's not as difficult as it may look. So if you have any questions after watching this video and reading the instructions, please make sure you give me a call, an email, or text, or come into my office, and I am happy to help you. All right, happy scheduling.